Hello and welcome once again to your Wealth Class on TV. Market update and equity analysis on Stocks TV Nigeria. I'm Abayomi Obabolujo. In the presentation today, we'll bring to you the summary of market activities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for the week ended August 12th, 2016. We'll be looking at percentage gainers and losers. We'll also be looking at basic volume drivers, deal drivers, and of course, value drivers. And basically, the factors behind them. But before I settle down and begin to bring to you market analysis, data, and information for this presentation, I'd like to tell you that one factor remains that yes, indeed, the Nigerian equity market is currently down. Nobody can precisely say when this is going to come to an end. I have always believed that when we find ourselves in situations such as this, what we need to do is to focus attentions on the major factors behind the performances of equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And this basically have to do with the general performances of the economy, because the stock market is nothing more than a subset within an economic system. Therefore, if you want to know when the situations at the market arena is going to improve, all you need to focus your attentions on is the economy. Look at the interest rate in the money market and other treasury instruments. Focus your attentions on government spending. The stock market, as I've always said, is nothing other than a leading indicator. It is not possible for the Nigerian economy to be in recession, and we expect the local market, that is stock market, to be up. Where will the source come from? Therefore, if you want to know how the market is going to perform, please focus your attention on the major economy of the country. Now, at any point in time, there are three basic seasons in the market. Of course, if you ask anyone, they will want to tell you basically there are two, but I tell you there are three. The first is the bullish season. The second is the bearish season. The bullish season is the period when the prices of equities are generally up. Of course, everybody is making money. All stocks, all manner of stocks, the good, the bad, and the ugly, are all increasing in price on the floor of the exchange. The opposite of that is the bearish season, when, again, all equities, including the good, the bad, and the ugly, will all decline. But the third season is the period where the market is moving sideways. Of course, attentions are not devoted to this season. However, it is equally as important as the bearish season or the bullish season. In other words, there are three activities or actions that an investor could take at any point in time in any exchange, including the Nigerian stock market. And this includes the time to buy, right? The time to sell, and the time to just wait and probably observe market performances. So as we speak now, it isn't so much the time to buy. It isn't the time to buy simply because the market is still coming down. And we really cannot tell when the market will eventually begin to reverse. Therefore, if you go to buy and the market declines further, you will discover that you will have bought early. It is the time to wait. Even if you have bought maybe some equities when their prices are relatively higher than we currently see. And when the market began to show signs of weakness, you did not immediately seize the opportunity and bail out. So you still believe that those equities might still probably rise. And so they have declined. So when somebody was discussing with me the other day, he invested in Guinness, for example, at about 80 naira or 81 naira or thereabout. And then he thought that Guinness was going to rise further from there, but the reverse has been the case. As we speak now, Guinness is about 50 naira or thereabout. Now, for such an individual investor, it is also the time to wait, because I will not for any reason advise that such an individual investor should bail out and take such huge losses. Of course, the price of Guinness might still come down lower than we currently see it. But the fact is that for Guinness, they will always bounce back. We have seen an equity like UBA coming down to a price of almost 1 naira 20 kobo, 1 naira 50 kobo on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But where is UBA today? The equity rose back from about 1 naira 50 kobo or thereabout and still went further to hit 9 naira. So please listen to me. There is always a time to wait. It is also an integral part of market activity. Wait to see how low the prices of equity can come. And as you are waiting, you are keeping your focus and your gaze and your attentions on the market. As you are waiting, you are also observing the general situation of the economy when you begin to sense a measure of improvement. And that also suggests to you that the market is going to reflect to that, because the market is nothing more than an indicator of the general economy. And so when you begin to sense a positive change in the economy of the nation, then you should know naturally that quoted companies will begin to respond positively, and the market at large will begin to respond also positively. And that, it could be said, your waiting days are over. That is about the time to begin to invest. That is the introduction to the program for today. And I do hope sincerely someone somewhere is watching, someone somewhere is learning, someone somewhere is also learning to wait and not to say, wow, this equity that was selling at so price is now selling at so price, without looking at basic indicators and just begin to buy. I give you an example. If you ask me for it, I will tell you that an equity like FBNH has nothing doing around 3 naira 30 kobo. We've seen it at 9 naira, we've seen it at 10 naira, we've seen it at 8 naira. When it was 10 naira, we believed that it was too low. When we saw it at 8 naira, we believed that it was too low. We never knew that we were still coming to see it at a price of 3 naira 20 kobo. But that is the reality. So if you had waited, I tell you that you will eventually buy stocks at relatively good price. But understand this, the fact that the prices of these equities are coming down does not mean that those equities are bad. No, the economy is bad. And when the economy is bad, virtually the good, the bad of, the best and the best of stocks also become bad. That is the reality on ground. And then what you need to do is to wait. Keep your hands crossed and just continue to observe the major economy and of course the market at the appropriate time. There are lots of profits to be made in this market if only you know how to dabble. I will be right back with market analysis and data for the week ended August 12, 2016. So far, I believe you've been rightly guided. Don't just go away. I'll be right back. Thank you for staying. Welcome back. Yes, there's other question that readily comes to mind, particularly when I said that this is a good time to wait. What if someone had bought, and am I saying that he should just fold his arms or her arms while the price of such equity begins or continues to decline? Shouldn't such individuals sell and bail out, probably keep in cash, or do some other things with such funds. Anyway, I will actually say that it's a function of the kind of equity you are holding. Now, I believe that irrespective of the common sense you deploy into equity investment or the form of technical analysis tools you know how to use as far as equity investment is concerned, it is my belief that the best and the foundation should be fundamental analysis. In other words, if you must make mistake in equity investment, it should be in equities with sound fundamentals. Why did I say so? In situations like this, equities with sound fundamentals will resist losses far more than equities without sound fundamentals. That is that. Again, at times such as this, equities with sound fundamentals will be able to recover faster when the market begins to show signs of improvement. And so that is why it is always advisable that in all you're getting, get the understanding of equity fundamentals. In addition, there are basically three ways through which you can get returns in equity investment. The first is capital appreciation. The second is by cash dividend. The third is scrip dividend. Now, when you see this kind of market where capital appreciation, consistent capital appreciation is not forthcoming, simply because of the fact that the market is weak. If you consider, I will soon show you, particularly within the week that just ended, you will see that about 38 equities on the percentage losers chart and only 17 or 18 or thereabout on the gainers chart. There are a lot of equities that just remained flat between Monday, the 8th of August, and Friday, the 12th of August 2016. So when you are in the market at such a time when capital appreciation is not forthcoming, what should you focus your attentions on? So what you should focus your attention on should now be either the cash dividend or the scrip dividend. Of course, in most cases, you don't get the scrip dividend. So cash dividend must surely come. And so that's why equities like UBA, equities like Access, equities like Guarantee, Zenith, equities like Total, and a few that either had given interim dividend on the strength of the second quarter report or potentially will eventually release dividend on the strength of their second quarter report are the best of equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as we speak. In other words, invest in such a way that if you cannot get capital appreciation, ensure that dividend payout is sure. At the end of the day, you will have a story to tell. At the end of the day, it will not just be an investment and then at the end of the year, you go empty. So if you cannot get capital appreciation, you should at least be able to get dividend, cash dividend in particular. It might be very little relative to the price of the equity, but something must surely come for you. I think that sufficiently had answered the question on how long do I continue to wait. And in case you bought high and you haven't sold, all right, continue to watch. There was one simple method I adopted a couple of weeks back. I bought Oando at 28 Naira in 2014. And I left it. The equity came to as low as, was it 4 Naira or 3 Naira, something earlier this year. What did I do? I bought times 4 of what I bought in 2014. And when the price moved to, I think, 8 Naira or thereabout, I sold. As of today, I have not just made, recovered the initial losses had also made a proportion of gains on that investment. So there are times you can afford to wait. I did the same thing in Transcorp, all right? And as a matter of fact, I saw the Transcorp high. I saw it coming down. I've still not sold Transcorp. Okay, so I'm still waiting on Transcorp. If I see that the price is coming down lower, who says that I will not look for money and just invest in it and wait. That is the way it works in the stock market. At any point in time, the stock market remains the best platform for you to make money. Yes, people can be talking about treasury bills 20, 22%. Let treasury bills even be 30%. People can be talking about bond, and then it's 18%, it's 20%. It can even be 40%. What are you talking? 40%? All right? If the price of equity begins to rise in just 1 week, we will cover all these things. The stock market remains the best platform where you can make money. And the lower the price of a good equity, the better for you. So let's go to market performances for the week ended 12th of August 2016. Virtually all the indicators ended in the red. The Osho index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed down 0.65%. All right? I mean, that shouldn't be a major issue. It was 27,425.86 at the beginning of, in fact, as at Friday of 5th August 2016. It closed on Friday, 12th August 2016 at 27,246.88. Market capitalization as at Friday, 12th of August, stood at 9.358 trillion naira. It was the previous Friday, 9,419 million naira. So the market capitalization also came down by 0.65%. Deals closed lower at 13.36%. And of course, volume was a lot better than the previous week because volume grew by 14.85%. It was 1,185,000,000. The previous week, it grew to 1,361,000,000 in the week that ended on Friday, 12th August 2016. Value of transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange also ended lower at 17.82%. Value for the week was about 10,711,000,000 naira. It was 13,033,000,000 naira in the previous week. Now, I will take you, before I begin to look at the equities that emerged as gainers and losers, I will take you through the volume drivers. But I likely say that the highest percentage gained for the week under review was 12.22% by the neophyte, NPF Microfinance Bank, whereas the highest percentage that was lost was 22.43% by CAP. And even after 22.43%, we still saw 18.75% lost by Sterling Bank, and then 13.87% lost by Diamond Bank, before 10.69% lost by Honeywell. So coming to the volume and value driver, I see that Guarantee is about, or let me just say outstandingly, the strongest banking stock on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, because in the week under review, Guarantee recorded a total value, that is, we talk about the amount that was invested in the stock of this equity for the week under review. It was 4.307 billion naira. That's rather huge for just 1 week. And the next to it in value was Zenith. Zenith is also a very strong equity on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Zenith recorded 1.271 billion. And then we now see Access. Access recorded 653 million naira, 277,000. Then we come to FBNH. And then FBNH has 602.7 million invested in it in the week under review. Total generated 586.145 million naira in the week under review. So these are strong equities. All right. Now, what you could do is to begin to relate the value with price to really know how strong these equities are. So if you ask me, not just for this week that we are reviewing, but at all times, Guarantee is very strong. All right? Not necessarily that the earnings from Guarantee is superior to the earnings from Zenith. And as a matter of fact, when you relate earnings with price and some other indicators, I cannot say precisely that Guarantee is better than Access or than a UBA. Okay, but you see, the outstanding number of shares and the float, that is shareholding distribution in Guarantee, is a lot superior than that of Zenith and Access and FBNH. Now, people keep talking about FBNH. What is the major factor militating against FBNH as we speak? It is simply because of the shareholding structure. You see, over a period of almost 10 years, FBNH was outstanding in giving regular bonuses in this same market. And that's one thing about investors. They only remember you and compensate you when you have to give them. That is just the nature of life. And when you don't have to give them, they also begin to say things against you. That is the truth. Over the years, the toast of the market was FBNH because it was guaranteed back in days 97, 98, 99, 2000, right till around 2009. We're almost sure on a yearly basis 1 for 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 5 over the years. So today, virtually everybody in the market, you might not own other stocks, but everybody more or less owns at least one unit of FBNH stock. And that's why whenever you see the price of FBNH making an attempt to go up a little, then the price is suppressed. Now, you see, in the life of an organization, there will always be a season when things will come low. That is what FBNH is passing through. And that's why people keep asking me, why am I so bullish about FBNH? I keep telling them I'm now bullish in FBNH because I've always been bullish about FBNH. It is not as if I've now fallen in love with the organization. But you see, I understand life. And that is what I bring into equity investment. That there's no man that is growing that at the time will not experience a slowdown. I have said many times that if we all continue to grow since we were born in height, for goodness sake, the oldest man on earth will be taller than a mountain Kilimanjaro. But at a time, you stop growing in height, maybe in wisdom. You see some people, they become robust. Some people begin to develop pot me. You see some people begin to grow gray hair. That is how to measure growth. FBNH, for sure, is passing through a low season. Yes, it might be because of board errors. It might be because of management incompetencies. But as we speak now, management has changed hands in the organization, and I'm very sure some of the things and the criticisms against this organization is getting to the ears of the board. I expect a change. Maybe not immediately, but subsequently. That's why I'm bullish. But one thing will always stand against FBNH: the past bonuses that this organization has given. And even upon that, the 98 cobalt earning for the second quarter is not bad. But again, the organization, particularly with the new management, we need to prove to us that indeed a change has come. Not a change as people say about Nigeria now, but positive change, for goodness sake. How? We wait to see the third quarter report. Someone even said that people will have probably believed the result more if the second quarter had been audited. Let's wait and see what the third quarter and of course the audited report about FBNH is going to be. Now talking about GT Bank, that is Guarantee Trust, very, very strong stock on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Like I said the other time, the organization already released 90 kobo thereabout for the third quarter earning. All right, and so my expectation for the second quarter earning is not more than 150 kobo. Okay, why? Well, we've seen the result of quite a number of financial institutions. They are not bad, right? But it is not all of them that actually experienced a growth in earnings. So I do not expect per se, because the first quarter earning of Guarantee was actually lower than the first quarter earning of 2015. 2015 Q1 earning was actually 94 kobo. So for 2016 Q1 earning is about 90 kobo. So I expect the second quarter earning for 2016 to be lower than what it was in 2015 second quarter. But again, the difference is not going to be much. And that's why I do not believe that the 1 naira 81 kobo the organization released as a second quarter report of 2015 is going to be matched. So I just discounted it by about 15%, 20%. If GT Bank eventually does more than that, I give kudos to them. So Zenith has released its result, and the question in the mouth of quite a number of people is how low the price of Zenith is going to come. Let me quickly do the remaining part of the market review, and I come to the use of technical analysis. I don't do my technical analysis the way others do it. All right? I just want a little bit interpretation. Many people might not really understand it. Right? It's a very simple way of doing technical analysis. If you understand it, you don't need to waste your time on too many technical indices to get what your facts out. For example, get the MFI. What is the definition of MFI? What does it represent? And then you must understand how to read it. And then momentum. What does it mean? All right? It's not enough for you to just use one. What is RSI saying? Then what are the candlesticks saying? Because you see, for every bar in the candlestick, they mean they pass a message. And when 2 or 3 of them follow, they mean they are passing a message. When a doji is formed, that's a message. When a hammer is formed, that is a message. When an inverted hammer is formed, that's a message. When a harami is formed, that is a message. All right, you need to understand the candlestick. So all this I put together, but because of the limited time that we have, I might not have time to go into details, and that's why I put everything together on just one page, and then you look at those basic information. I'm still coming to do that with you. So Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank was the leader in percentage or in price for the week ended 12th of August. It grew by 12.22%. The next is International Breweries. International Breweries result was not very fantastic, and if you ask me relative to that earning, 20 naira price is still relatively high, but the information around the market is that some foreign investors somewhere somehow are investing in it. How far that can push the price, I cannot tell, but I'm not interested so much whether somebody is buying in or not. What I'm interested in is figure. When your figure is weak to I mean, relative to your price, I don't say such equity is good enough to be bought into. So we've been talking about guarantee. People were strategizing to see guarantee far lower than this, but this equity has failed or has refused to come down below this level. AG11s, these are some of the equities that do not command so much of value on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Okay, and then we see AICO and Okomu. The result of Okomu is very, very fantastic. Okay, but between then and now, it has not really appreciated consistently. One of the presentations, by the grace of God, within the new week we are entering into, will be focused on the earnings relative to current prices of these equities. FO. Before FO, let me talk about GSK. You see, GSK reported a very woeful second quarter report, and it is unfortunate that this organization has sold the cash cow in their among their products. Of course, they generated a lot of money, but moving forward, what are they going to use the funds to do? That remains a big question. And when you go to sell the best of the best of your products, well, God help their future. So FO intends to come to the market to do, according to what the management of the organization said the other day on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, they are coming to the market to do bond. Well, if it is not too high, but generally, I don't believe that the kind of rates that we have now, the yield that you eventually have to cough out to your bond investors, I don't think it is worth it. The same thing, WEMA. That is why, to me, I'm not bullish about WEMA for now, but the stock is not performing badly on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. For the week ended 12th of August 2016, it gained 4.29%, talking about WEMA Bank. All right, for Dangote Cement and Dangote Sugar, and as a matter of fact, NASCOM, I believe in them. Why? Because of the inelastic demand nature of their products. All right, so now, as we speak, even the shares of these organizations are not also evenly distributed. Okay, so I do not see their prices crashing beyond certain level. You don't expect the price of Dangote Cement to crash woefully. You don't also expect the price of Dangote Sugar to crash woefully. That also of NASCOM. All right, Access was one of the gainers for the week under review. Access, as we speak, is still attractive. Of course, the percentage gain for the week under review was just marginal, 1.64%. I'll rest a while. I will be right back. Welcome back. Now, are there opportunities among losers? Yes, there are opportunities. And I will tell you how these opportunities will emerge. There are some that are losing now. You just keep your attentions off them. One, any equity that really does not command the required volume. What are you doing there? So CAP just woke up within the week under review and lost 22.45%. If I take you through the charts now, we can go through the charts of CAP and you will see that for a long time, CAP has just been there sleeping, right? And then it woke up and just galloped, pam, pam. In the entire month of July, CAP had only 2 days of appreciation. The remaining days, the equity was actually sleeping. And of course, for August, so far so good. It has not gained anything. And then we saw it galloping down for the last 2 trading days for last week. So when you see such equity, I will strongly advise you to look away from them. Sterling Bank lost 18.75%. we look at what Sterling Bank possibilities are for this week we are entering into, right? It's actually still trending low. Of course, as I see sterling, it is currently dwelling at oversold level. But that is not to say that it is now attractive to buy. That is the gospel truth. Why? You ask me, what information is going to put it back up? We are not going to see any result from sterling again until around November of this year. Okay? So you don't say because one equity has lost 18%, it is now attractive. That is the truth. All right? Because in the situation such as this, it is possible for us to begin to see equities coming to a low level. Okay? For the sterling that we have just mentioned, you will see that in actual fact, sterling so far, in fact, I can say for about how many years now, 2014, 2015, 2016, sterling is selling at the lowest level in the last couple of years. But then, I will still not say that that has made sterling now attractive. And so because of that, go and buy sterling. No, I'll still say watch until sterling is able to release superior earnings to the market. Can I tell you to go and buy Diamond Bank? Of course, I will be a little bit hesitant. Why? Because I know so much that even if Diamond Bank 2 is selling at about its lowest price in the last couple of years, that would probably have been the recommendation, go and buy. But there is no rule that says that Diamond Bank can still not come lower than the level it is currently selling. That is the reality in the market because there is nothing at stake anymore. You can see an equity like Honeywell, 10.69% was the decline in the week under review. But is Honeywell now attractive? Well, I can see Honeywell, it's yet to even outrightly get to the support, but it is still trending down. So one thing we would understand, or we should understand, that is going to be very notable in the kind of market that we see is that price appreciation will thin out. So an equity, even the best of them, will not make that consistent appreciation. It might gain maybe 3% today. The following day, it might lose the same 3% or even lose more than. Then relax for 1 or 2 days, gain again marginally. That is going to be the structure of price performances. But Total lost 1.25% in the week under review, right? Of course, as far as I'm concerned, Total is still very attractive because it has a second quarter report too. You know why I smile? The equity is selling at the highest level since 2014, actually, right? That is Total. And so because of that, it is actually trending low, right? The charts are saying that it is dwelling around the overbought level, which means that it will definitely come down. So in the kind of stock like Total, all you need to do is just to keep your fingers crossed and see how low. Why? We are very sure that there is a very strong earning. It's already been made there for everyone. And not that alone. You remember that Total already gave 3 Naira dividend as interim. That makes it very attractive. All right? So I think we've been able to cover quite a number of equities today. I'm very sure somebody will want me to talk about O&O. Of course, I will talk about O&O. The other day we were talking on our radio platform, and then as at the time they were yet to bring the second quarter report. We thought that they were going to disappoint as usual. If you recall, Owando had released a profit warning about the second quarter report, but when the result eventually hit the market, it was not as if the organization had started making huge profit, but it was not as disappointing as expected, right? But if you ask me where the current charts are concerning Owando, I would say it is still trending down. Because Owando is still trending down, I will not tell you to go and buy now, but rather let us see how low O&O will come to before we can begin to say whether you should buy or not. But generally, the market for this week, what are the possibilities? The market for the new week, what are the possibilities? Well, if you ask me, I will tell you that the market is still operating under huge pressure. That's the truth. Because the factors that are bringing the market down, they are yet strong. They are yet to win. And so because of that, the market in the new week is still likely going to be under lots of pressure. All right? Yes, we might see the all-share index moving up a little bit, but that will not depict market strength. The number of equities that are bound to gain are also going to be going to be few as against equities that are bound to be weak. Looking at the weekly charts, the indicators are actually largely looking down, which is where we are going to round off on the program today. I want to say a very big thank you to you for staying tuned. I will be with you again tomorrow by the special grace of God. Until then, I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, its accumulation and preservation via the stock market. Abayomi, Obabolujo. Thank you, and God bless you.